This is Joe,
Michelle,
Melissa,
and Shannon
with More Than a Sniff, where we talk about everything dog.
from training to nutrition,
from behavior modification to grooming.
From vet visits to dog parks.
From getting to know us to having guests. Today we're going to talk about... So what I would like to talk about today, since we have finished our 4 pillars of training and really kind of the platform that we train on, and I hope that everybody found some value in just kind of the thought process that we have as we go into homes and do lessons, but also with our own dogs. And so I would like to just kind of wrap up everything, take a moment to really talk about our own packs again and us and the journeys that we're headed towards. We've got some fun and upcoming stuff, and just kind of some different things that what we're doing personally, and not necessarily just, related to the dog world, but just kind of who we are and what we're doing. So, if you had to describe in a sentence or so, Melissa, what would you describe those 4 pillars to be, just to kind of wrap up that series of our 4 pillars?
So what they are aren't my pack?
What's that?
What they are in my pack?
No, just in general as a trainer, like sum up what those 4 pillars are.
The consistency, conceivability, I'm going to go backwards.
Oh, come on.
I know, I'm like trying to go backwards. Consistency, conceivability, communication, and connection, that is, are really all what we should do every day. Is really what it comes down to, is what is your life with your dog every day.
Yeah.
And just breaking it down. And how if one of those pillars is falling, that's kind of where a problem is.
Yeah.
Because that's how we usually address a problem, is where what pillar is falling.
Cool. Michelle?
Honestly, I think if you want to relate it to everything, it's any relationship, right? Like, you have to have communication, you have to have connection with anybody if you're going to have any kind of relationship. And I think Melissa's right. If anything is failing in any 4 of those, something's going to be amiss.
Right.
Even if it's like just an acquaintance that you see every once in a while, there still has to be some kind of conceivability, or why are we talking to them,
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Even if it's just for the next 5 minutes, like, so I think when it comes to just relating to life in general, like, I think it's every relationship, not even just what comes to our dogs.
Yeah.
But the breakdown, I think, really helps with our dogs, and figuring out what part of it is missing in your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Shannon?
I think if you're looking into yourself and trying to figure out, after listening to all these podcasts, if you're doing all of this in your home, if you feel like you're off balance, then one of those is off too.
Yeah.
And then you can go through each one and kind of analyze each one.
Right.
But everything always that we talk about is how everything's in balance together. And if you feel that you're off balance, then one of those pillars needs work. Yeah.
And I think, for me, it's really, as you guys put it, it's kind of everything in life. And I think also just having that reality that everything isn't always in balance. Mm-hmm. And so if the communication is off, then are we failing at communication, not blaming it on the dog? Maybe we fail at communication because we've got something else happening or something else going on, that we've just failed the dog in communicating, what we need them to do, or our communication is wrong, where the dog doesn't know why you're stressed and you're anxious. And really it could be life stuff happening, but the dog's saying, we're stressed, we're anxious, we're out walking, and what's going on, and why are you feeling that way? And so, I think, all 4 pillars for me is taking a look on the inside of ourselves and the things that you can learn from your dog in real life stuff, but also where are you failing your dog? But I also believe that there's accountability on where is your dog failing you, and how do you need to help them shift those 4 pillars so that the relationship can be equal. And I think a lot of people go, it's always the owner's fault. I think our dogs can fail us at certain, either we're not meeting their expectations, or they're not meeting our expectations, whatever that is. But it truly is this kind of crossover of, if a pillar is falling, is it me? that's creating that failure? Or is it us as a whole family creating the failure? Or is the dog, is something wrong? Is something going on? Do we need to shift something there as well? And so, summing that up, it's really abstract for us, and we're not in the box trainers. And so it was really fun to go kind of take people through that journey with us of kind of how we think about stuff. And so on that note, I'd like to kind of shift gears into kind of some new stuff that's happening, and just kind of a fun, crazy direction that everything's kind of headed in with Western States and our trainers and what we have going on. So, one, we're rebranding Western States to Dog Training 360, and it's kind of a funky journey, and it is definitely a crazy rebranding time, because Western States has really been such, I'm very connected to it. It's very much so me. And Dog Training 360 is just a goal to open it up, that it's not just me, and that I can let go of some of the passion things that I had, not in a bad way, just letting other trainers come in and kind of be open to the whole process, and that there's others that can do it, and it's not just about me. And I want to share that with the community, but also across the United States eventually. And so making the shift with all of us people, it's kind of shifted us, the four of us, in kind of a different direction, where Michelle's going to come in as an office manager. You're going to hear her, on the phone and kind of controlling some of the back end stuff and our schedules, so that we can stay in sync and keep things going forward, and keeping the communication lines open and being better about communicating with our clients. And Michelle having the experience with the dog training, that she can guide people in the right direction and get them where they need to go, and that communication open. Where Melissa is still training like crazy, and continuing to take on new clients, but also, hopefully, I'm going to back up a little bit back to Michelle, because Michelle and I are on this journey of breeding and hopefully producing some really good dogs for people to understand. It's not about people buying the breeds that we have, as much as it's educating people on how to work with a good breeder. What questions do you ask? And we want to take people on that journey with us. And again, it's kind of all encompassing into the Dog Training 360 stuff, where it's more about educating people and taking this whole big thing into play. And then Melissa, again, is going to be, head trainer for Dog Training 360, and also her and I are hopefully by fourth quarter going to head into developing our own food line with somebody down south that's got some really good meat, I guess is the best way. And he's just waiting really for us to pull the plug to move forward on it. But that's kind of a challenge of finding balance in nutrition and everything that we believe in and why we do what we do, and then sending it over to his team to make sure that they can produce it into a affordable dehydrated raw food. So, and that's really the biggest thing with even feeding raw or dehydrated raw, is that it's so expensive to feed if you have if you have a dog over 20 pounds, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
right.
And so, we'll be kind of heading down to that nutritional place, hopefully for fourth quarter, if we can get ourselves together.
Yeah.
Shannon with the business still on board with being our project manager and doing some of the big projects that we have as we start building this out and moving forward. But another fun thing about me and Shannon is we're kind of going into this. It's not really a clothesline. I'll let Shannon talk a little bit more about it, but it's more about accessories fitting a lifestyle and a culture, who you are, defining who you are. So it's been kind of a fun, slow-moving process, just because we all kind of have a lot going on at this time. But and then lastly with me is our last dog of the pack passed away on Easter, and we had begun to rebuild our pack at that time. And we have two pretty amazing little puppies that are, it's been super fun, and we're just rebuilding, and the whole family is in this rebuilding the pack again. And there's things that we're doing a little bit different that we never would have done, with the original pack. And that's, every night everybody's up on the bed and we hang out on the bed. And I feel like for Chris and I, that's when the kids were little, everybody hung out on the bed and we watched TV together. So now it's the puppies with us and watching TV together. And so we're just rebuilding this fun pack, and they'll be on the journey as far as all of the social media stuff. But, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at in life. Shannon?
What are we talking about?
Life. Where are you at with life and your dogs?
Oh boy,
and
I don't even know if I can.
You've had some stuff happen with Dutch.
Oh yeah, Dutch has been having some health problems that we can't figure out what they are. I have some theories about what it is, and I'm experimenting with some things trying to help her get better. All her hair fell out. It's growing back now. My other dogs are doing good health-wise.
Good.
And we're just living together.
Yeah.
Having some goofy fun times, I think it takes a little while when you get a dog that's an adult dog that you add into your home. It takes them at least a year to kind of integrate to that. And it's my Dutch anniversary this week.
Oh my gosh.
So
isn't
I know,
that crazy? Oh my gosh.
So she finally is just like settling in, and everybody's just being goofy and getting along and having fun and feeling like they belong together in the house, and so it's really a nice place to be. Yeah. So now I guess that we're used to everyone being together, we can start doing some fun training things, and finding their little niche of like what they like to do outside of just living at
hanging
home.
out.
Yeah, we're kind of a hangout house right now. Yeah. But I think it was important for those new dogs to learn how to do that. Yeah. To just be and be okay with it. So
yeah. How are they? You are costume design for plays.
Yes.
And there's times that things are a bit more busy and crazy for you. And how do they kind of fit and fold into that?
Well, luckily I have a good husband that takes up the
slack.
Yes, when I'm gone. So, like, I had a crazy week last week where I was at the theater from 9 a.m. to like 11 or 11:30 every day, and so Mike's on his same regular schedule, so that stayed normal for the dogs.
Okay. Yeah.
He comes home at a certain time and we do whatever, and he just takes care of everything for me. So nice. I'm lucky to have that, so that they're not too stressed, I feel like they're happy to see me. Like I didn't die. Right. Oh, you didn't die. You came home. Right. Yeah. And my morning routine was still the same, even though I left. So we had a normal morning with Shannon and a normal night with Mike. Yeah. And that was enough to carry them through the weird schedule. Yeah. But,
cool. So talk a little bit about our little journey. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So we decided that we wanted to do fashion accessories. Yeah. So fashion accessories that go with whatever outfit for whoever you are. Yeah. We're designing for all kinds of women, all different lifestyles. Yeah. Things that you can add to your outfit to feel powerful, feel happy, feel inspired.
It's a very emotional accessory. So it's been fun to kind of feel it and kind of just gauge from wild rags to to watch bands, and we're kind of playing around with a lot of different, from belts to we're really just kind of playing around for this feel, so they all kind of fit together. Like this is my happy wild rag, and this is the feel that you get with it that ties everything together. So it's actually pretty fun, and it's a nice non-dog thing for me for a very creative out with that. So it's been fun the little bit that we've been able to work on it. So yeah. Melissa?
One thing with Shannon I wanted to say is you sent me a video on Saturday.
I can't remember it.
I was laughing so hard of Ripley putting her head in this like donut toy.
Oh yeah, it's like a frisbee that's hollow.
Having
In
her
the
head
middle?
in it. And
I thought she was sitting on it.
She's sitting
The
with
picture.
it around her neck.
Oh.
She puts it on herself around her neck and then runs around the house and like surely that's how you play frisbee.
I love it.
I was just dying because we were just getting back from playing frisbee with our girls. And so I was just like, look at this! And I don't know why, but it just tripped my finger and I was just laughing.
She wore it all day.
Oh.
Put it
That's
on,
so
and then she just runs around, sat on the sofa for several hours looking out the window with a frisbee around her neck. like, this is used, everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone left her
It's my
alone. Like,
necklace.
they didn't play with it. They're like, you got this, Ripley.
Everybody else is
So
doing it
funny.
wrong, but not Ripley.
Yeah, I thought she literally was like sitting on it, not with it around her head.
Yeah.
Because I thought the picture was like, you know, the ones that we have that's the dog's nose and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so I thought her body, because, you know, her head is bigger than her body. And so I thought that was her. So I thought she was sitting on it. That's funny.
It's around her neck.
I love it.
I was like crying laughing, and my dog's like, Mom is broken.
What
She
are
finally
you doing?
broke.
Yeah.
What is wrong with her?
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
Funny.
So my house, it's fun. We're going through a lot of like the springtime. We're making a lot of big goals, and
Mm-hmm.
Nick and I have this favorite song. It's called 10 Things, but it's kind of the whole idea of like, what are 10 things you want to do before you're dying? Well, go hurry and do it. What are you waiting for? Like 10 books you want to read before you die. Why aren't you reading them? And so we wrote everything, all the questions that he asked in that song, and we wrote all our answers.
Uh-huh.
And we kind of did it for the dogs too.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun to kind of realize how much there are these things that we want to do and that our dogs love to do. Why aren't we doing them?
Yeah.
And the excuses are just stupid.
Yep.
We don't have time. Well, that's the worst excuse in the world because everybody has time to make it.
Right.
And so we've been having a lot of fun, like making goals for each of our girls and kind of like, okay, what are you best at? Let's hurry and let's work on this. Let's have fun with it. And it's been a lot of fun to watch Nick and Trigger blossom into the funniest like little partnership.
Yeah.
Like I think they need their own like theme song when they get ready for work or something. But he brings her to the office every day. She got promoted to office manager, and they took staff pictures last week, and everybody had to have pictures of her on their lap. So this photographer comes in and Trigger's on each of their laps just with this like
So funny.
stupid face.
Yeah.
Half of them she has her snaggletooth, kind of. But he's kind of finding the joy in training for fun. Yeah. And he is always helping with the dogs at home, but going, I want to teach her how to skateboard. So right now we're teaching Trigger how to skateboard.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm going to find this weird thing. I want to teach her how to carry files to the secretary. So that's what we're working on now is her bringing files. And
so funny. I love it.
Just how happy he is when he gets home.
Yeah.
And anytime, like literally every day, 7:30, because he leaves for work at 7. So like 6:45, she's at the door. Like, guys, she has puts her collar on, and once her collar gets on, she's so calm. She waits and sits, goes to the door and sits, and at work, everyone's like, oh, she's so calm. And at home, she's a gremlin.
Yeah.
She goes in gremlin mode when you take that collar off, but to see that transition of, she finds such purpose with this in the office.
Yeah.
Not all girls hate it. Great, can we go home yet? But that's just been a lot of fun for him to see that joy of stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been fun to kind of, after we kind of slowed down on the herding, entertaining Cooper in fun ways. Because she was so like, no, I had a lot of mental energy going into something, and now, and doing work with her, I'm doing a lot of scent work. She loves that. So I'm getting back into that again.
Good.
And like really committing to time. And I've been putting time, okay, I have a training session with Cooper this day, and doing fun with that. And Yuki is just my little shadow. She recently had my horse passed away a couple weeks ago, and Yuki would not leave my side. Yeah. She had to be touching me at all times, and it kept me in check because I was like, I need to be present, strong, because she was like, something's wrong. Yeah. But it's been fun to like, teach her little tricks, and we're going hiking and kind of just living our life. Like, what are 10 things we want to do before we die? Well, let's hurry and go do them. And kind of our priority is not being, we should go and do X, Y, Z, but we can. We have the ability to go and do these things and finding joy and purpose in just everyday life with our pack. Yeah. Because I think having a pack is it's a special thing. Yeah. and to not take advantage of that. So
Yeah.
every Sunday is hide and seek Sunday. We wake up and we play hide and seek with the dogs. Playing board games with them, going in frisbee, and even just sitting out on the porch, but including them more mindfully, has been really rewarding.
That's cool.
So that's our goal for this summer.
So I'm not sure if you took the dogs up prior to, but Sunday the dogs were up with you as you were cleaning pasture and stuff like that for the horses. Did they notice a shift? Like there's a different horse in the herd?
Yes.
Yeah.
I took them 2 days after she passed away, and they all went into her stall because Yuki loved her.
Yeah.
It was, I'm going to go and lick your nose, and you're going to boot me, and then I run away. Yeah. That was the game.
Yeah.
So she goes in, and they all kind of walked around, looked in there, and there was a huge shift, and it of course I bawled.
Right.
So I was like, oh my nose.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was kind of, it was weird bringing them to the barn, because it just felt so off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they definitely noticed.
Yeah.
Because that's the first place we all would go is, gotta see. Well, for Yuki and Triggers, where's the freshest poop to eat? But it was still
There's
hers.
routine. That's
There's
right.
still routine.
Yep.
And Sunday, it really was such a healing thing for me for them to go. Yuki went to Tokino, licked his nose, he pooped her, and she ran away. And I was like, that's the thing. And Nick was like, why are you so emotional all of a sudden? And they played, and they were out in the pasture, and they played frisbee. And Cooper's, I swear she was a lab in her last life, because if there's any puddle, she's laying in it.
Yeah.
So she's playing in the river, the gremlins are chasing mice. Yeah. And it was just it was heaven.
Yeah.
It was just the best. And so that's my goal this summer. It's just more peaceful times up at the barn.
Yeah.
Horse and all the dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Michelle?
Oh man. You know, it's really funny, Melissa. Every time I talk to any of you, actually, it's kind of funny. I think we're all so different.
Yep.
And yet there's things about me and you that I think are so much alike. It's weird because it's I really feel like you're the more intense version of me. It's really funny. It's when you were saying the hide and seek thing, it just got me thinking because we do cuddle Sunday. We don't. That's the only time Murphy's actually allowed in the bed. At my house.
Whatever, Michelle, whatever.
At my house. That's the only time he's allowed on the bed is on cuddle Sundays. So.
Yeah.
But no, not even that. Just like I feel like I'm in life and in my pack going through kind of a weird transition, and I think it's been a few years coming. Like it's not just all of a sudden. I feel like it's more dramatic right now than it has been in the last couple of years. But I'm kind of in a weird stage that I'm really trying to find hobbies and stuff like that, and I'm really trying to make a bucket list type thing. And it's mine's not quite as like I said, not as quite as intense as yours. It's like, I want to do these things and I need to start doing them, but it's not like I have to do them right now. But you know what I mean? Start having those goals and stuff like that, and not even just necessarily with work, but with things I want to do in life and stuff. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I really do we're just all so different, and yet we're all so much alike.
Yeah.
All four of us. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really do feel like I'm in such a weird transition with just life right now. It's even kind of hard I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I guess with my pack, it's really interesting having Siggy. I really feel like in the last, Murphy's almost 8. He was our last puppy. And I feel like being a dog trainer, I've been so a part of other people's puppy journeys, and I felt like I really felt like I knew what that was like. Yeah. But it's so different now.
Oh yeah.
It's so different. Like Joe was saying, she lets them on the bed and stuff like that. Siggy's on the bed all the time. And it doesn't even faze us. When I'm doing dishes, she's standing in the dishwasher. I'm like, well, I hope you don't get big enough you break it. I just keep thinking that. It's just this really funny thing that's happening in my life. And she's so different anyways. She's so different than all 3 of my other dogs. Yeah. It's a fun journey to go on with her that she's so much fun to be around, and everybody loves her, and she loves everybody, and where even Priest has never loved everybody.
Right.
She likes people, but it's not the other 2 I have to worry about with people, but she genuinely loves people and other dogs, and it's really fun and exciting. So not what I'm used to, and it's really hard sometimes to hold her back when I know she wants to go say hi to that dog, and I'm like, no, not gonna happen. Yeah. So that's kind of hard. I don't know. What else? It's interesting. I really feel like so much is, I feel like I'm in a weird stage that I don't even know in my head what's going on. So it's hard to verbalize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we're not that we're going to have a baby, because we're not anytime soon, but me and my husband are at that age that we need to start thinking about that.
Sure,
if it's
what's
ever going to
next?
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
For sure.
I'm kind of getting to that age that's kind of getting to the point now or never.
Yeah.
And not now, but
Sure.
I had a doctor's appointment that the lady told me I was soon to have geriatric ovaries, and I was like, okay.
That is so nice.
She was like, that's what we call it. You really are not old. And I'm like, thanks.
Can you change the name?
Yeah.
Right? What if I lived back east? Would I still
I know.
have geriatric
I know.
ovaries?
She was like, thanks.
Not in Utah.
So, yeah, right. Seriously, no kidding. So there's just these weird things. I'm not dog training nearly as much as I was. Like,
Yep.
I still have the occasional boarder that I'm working with.
Yep.
Stuff like that. And it's something I still really love. Like, I really, like, miss all my clients and stuff. Honestly, it really has more to do with the hours. I don't want to work nights and weekends.
Yep.
And that's when people need us, right?
Yep.
So,
Melissa and I were just talking about
Yep.
that
Yeah.
today. Like,
Yep. I mean, that's,
oh, where are we going to fit this? How are we going to do this? Yeah.
yeah. So I think for me, it really is like finding that work home life balance
Mhm.
that I need. And I'm definitely gonna admit that I'm a spoiled little girl that,
Yeah.
that I don't have to work as, so
That's okay.
anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bigger motivation because you don't have to.
Right.
To then just discover and find things that you
Right.
like
And so
to
I think
do.
I think that's really where I'm at. I'm trying to find things that I'm passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking up, I've recently taken up like hiking a lot more than I ever have and stuff. Gardening has been huge in my life this year.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And I've always liked gardening, but I've never had time to really do it.
Right.
So it's just really finding those things that I'm actually passionate about versus and I still want that to be turned into something
For sure.
purposeful.
Uh-huh.
So, especially with the Siggy thing, with the, wanting in the future to breed her and show
Right.
her,
Yeah.
all those things like that, to find hobbies other than just having a really good pack.
Yeah.
Which is important, but
Yep.
finding purpose outside of just that too.
Right.
It's kind of this weird journey I've started.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't, yeah. So.
We recently got goats.
Yeah.
Woo!
I love them.
And I took a picture of me in my overalls today with them
Yes.
because I thought it was fitting.
Yes.
It is.
But I'm going to a puppy starting clinic in 2 weeks. And I'm super excited that after that piece, even though we don't all have puppies, it's a softer approach on how to get them started correctly. And so I'm excited that we all get to kind of join back in, and I hope that we can kind of have that day again.
Mm-hmm.
We won't have to travel as far. But have that journey again as far as starting Siggy,
Yeah,
because she's a
absolutely.
herding dog.
Right.
And see where she's at with
so
it.
annoying about it, but yeah.
Um,
They bark. That's what they do.
Yeah,
to her,
they're barkers,
so it's
yeah.
gonna be-
and kind of resetting Cooper into
Yeah.
it and getting Dutch back into, and I think with her age-wise and then also being settled in her life, it'll be interesting to see where her confidence is at with it. So I'm super excited that the four of us can kind of go up and do that, one day a week. And I think it's important that that we don't constantly live our life around our dogs, if that makes sense. And I think it's just refreshing that we're, we all kind of talked about life and then the life with the dogs and it definitely is important. And I've this weekend was a weekend of really talking to clients about, you have to live your life because your dog is really disrupted by you putting so much guilt on them because you work all week. And, it was a very therapeutic weekend of lessons because people seem to be in this rut of, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this with our dogs, where, for me, it's just not, I'm going to go do that. We're going to do this. I went to a Kentucky Derby party for the purpose. I really wasn't going to go. I really want to just stay home. But I had these two little rugrats that were going crazy because they had been cooped up a fair amount of the day, and Chris is out of town. And so I'm like, screw it, we're going to go socialize. And so they went to the Derby party with me and just social. And Patsy kept getting into trouble and Caroline decided that she really liked mint juleps. and her nose kept kicking in. And so all of a sudden her nose would go, and then she's like climbing up on people and trying to drink. And then the jar that they had the mint julep in, she's standing up on the counter licking the spigot.
Oh my word.
It was like, we have an alcoholic in the crew.
Yeah.
In the
You're
bunch.
not old enough. You're not old enough, Caroline.
But they just totally mingled around and hung out with Sam, and but it was just a really like crazy hats, crazy people, loud, busy food. Like there was just a typical environment for most parties, but we don't do that. So it was nice to get the dogs, as puppies into that. And so, I mean, randomly Patsy would end up in somebody's lap like really fast, and she just was like, woo! And they'd respond, and she would be so excited about it, and then she'd zip off, so it was, I kind of had the ill-behaved dogs, there. So it kind of felt kind of good that we just kind of went and partied together. And so, I think that we're all kind of in this rebuilding, doing stuff, trying to figure, Dutch's stuff out. So I'm super excited for our like little herding journey again to start with the four of us, with nobody else, and us just putting our dog expertise into, we understand the concepts. So let's build this out and do it correctly, whether we're all going to compete or not. I think it's just kind of something fun for the four of us to, and I really enjoyed that time, and so I'm excited. So yeah. So everything's kind of being built out that way, and I think that we're kind of turning a corner and heading into some really fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we kind of wrapped up this intense core training stuff, because, our podcasts for a while are just going to really be about kind of our life with our packs, and you can see it all on social media and all of that. So, it'll be a fun quarter to start out and kind of move forward.